Alrighty, so I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
I'm Justin.
Alrighty, so what games have you guys been playing this week?
Not a heck of a lot. I had a whole bunch of things that filled up my week. Typical working through Smash and other stuff like that. Jumped onto a couple of older games I had in my collection. One of the old Pokemon games on the literal Game Boy that I still have the cartridge for. And the old...
Pokemon Yellow, Gold, Silver.
No, those were
it
colored.
would be yellow.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yes. And a little bit of Fable and some other interesting things.
Righto.
Did you plant a walnut and watch it grow into a tree?
No. In my case, I stopped a horrible battle siege in the things of stuff and just alright.
Okay, Justin, what have you played?
Okay, again, besides Tales of Vesperia and finishing the game and playing post-game in that, I also played a little bit of Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes on the GameCube.
Oh, very nice.
Yep. I decided, yeah, why not? I had this game for actually several years now, because I found it somewhere in a pawn shop in some distant location. But I figured I should probably play through a little bit of it. It's pretty good. It plays pretty much almost exactly like the original game on the PlayStation, but with the graphical upgrade to GameCube, which is similar to the graphics in Metal Gear Solid 2, which is fine.
Did the gentleman know that you played Super Mario Sunshine?
Yeah, I actually got to that part when I was playing, and yeah, he mentioned that, "You've been playing Super Mario Sunshine, haven't you?" It's like, yeah, I have.
I love all the little things that Kojima does with his games like that, where it just it messes with you.
Oh yeah, that whole battle is like, have you tried using Controller Port 2? Have you tried using Controller Port 3? Are you serious? Have you tried using Controller Port 4?
Yeah, I love that. It's so good.
Oh, yes.
So have you played anything else this week?
A little bit of Stardew Valley as well. Just a little bit of that.
Okay. So I've played 3 games I want to talk about.
Okay.
So first, we'll talk about Half-Life, because I actually finally started playing Half-Life.
The first one?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay. That's an oldie.
It is. Surprisingly, even though it's 20 years old, because I think it came out in 98.
That would be 21 years old then.
Well,
if that's the case.
Yeah, about that.
Ish.
20-ish years old. It still looks surprisingly good.
It doesn't look terrible. I mean, it looks better than Doom in terms of graphics, but
well,
I don't mean the recent Doom, obviously.
Well, yeah, of course, no. But, if you told me that game came out on PS2, I would probably believe you.
Yeah.
It looks good enough to be yeah, okay.
I mean, that was, at that point in time, the best graphics on a PC.
Yeah. No, it still looks good and it plays really well. And I'm always surprised the little things that game does.
Yeah.
Where there's actually breakable glass and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm that's really cool that in 98 Valve had done stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've been enjoying it. I've only played maybe an hour, maybe a little more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've played that one a little bit before, and then I decided just to skip it halfway through and play through Half-Life 2, which, I mean, I enjoyed Half-Life 2 as well.
I haven't touched the series.
You should buy Half-Life. It's usually pretty cheap, and
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
it would easily run on your PC.
I think it would run just about easily on just about anything.
Yeah.
So, one of the other games I played, which I will briefly go over, is Madden 19, because I bought it for $30, and I will simply say that if you like Madden games, you'll like this one, because it's very similar, and it does a very good job of being a very good football game.
Supposed yay? I had heard some things, but they kind of dived into the, oh no, they're going into the loot box things and all the money payments.
They've been doing that for a
stuff,
while, but it's only for My Ultimate Team. It's a separate mode. So it doesn't affect the core game. So I don't mind that, because they've done it in their other games, and it's it doesn't affect if I want to play franchise mode or if I want to play the story mode. That's not affected by their loot box thing. So I don't really care.
And if there's a gentleman that really likes sports games that has a decent amount of money that wants to throw some of it at this game, it's not the worst thing in the world.
No, like, in my opinion, that's kind of like loot boxes almost done right. Because it doesn't really affect the main experience.
You know, they should have, like, if you get, like, loot boxes and, like, 17, it should still be affected in, like, post games, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't make nearly as much money.
Well, it's stupid.
A bit stupid.
It's just
yeah, but,
to
like,
me.
okay, if you buy a skin in, like, you buy a loot box in Overwatch, and they release Overwatch 2, you wouldn't expect that to carry over to Overwatch 2, would you?
I don't know, maybe. I mean, when I would get a song in, like, Rock Band 1 or 2 or 3, 4 or 5, well, actually there's not 5, but I would expect to have, like, some of the DLC songs I bought to be in the next game.
Yeah,
which,
that's
I
fair.
mean, that actually happens for at least the first 3 games. I don't know about 4.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. So, the main game I wanted to talk about just released a couple of days ago.
Is it Resident Evil 2?
Yep.
You got it?
Yes.
Awesome!
So, I got it for free because I bought the RX 580, and AMD was running a deal at the time where you could pick from Devil May Cry, Resident Evil 2, and The Division. So I got Resident Evil 5, or Resident Evil 2, and I'm getting The Division 2 as well.
Neat.
So, Resident Evil 2. It's a hard game for me to talk about.
Because it's too much of the spoopies?
I'm kind of interested in it, love it, because, I mean, it's the first game starring Leon Kennedy.
So, okay. First off, the game looks really, really good.
I've seen some screenshots.
I've seen video.
Pinties.
Yeah.
Like, even I'm running it at 1080p, like 60 frames a second locked, and it still looks really good. Like, it's very impressive what they've managed to do with the game from that era.
From PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've basically rebuilt all the assets and everything, and,
Well,
and it
yeah,
looks beautiful.
everything is rebuilt.
The game plays really well. Like, the shooting and everything feels really good. It's just like it's a lot... And I'm playing it on PC, obviously, so I can't tell you how it feels on a controller.
Just with its style, I'm guessing it's a bit more modern, sticking with more Resident Evil 4 styles of gameplay, or is it focused a little bit more on tank control?
I noticed that it has, like, the camera goes behind the character, meaning you can actually move around and see all the scenery rather than have it, like, static backgrounds.
Yeah, no, it has the same kind of, like, style as Resident Evil 4, where it's the over-the-shoulder camera, and it controls like a modern game. It's not tank controls. You move your mouse, and that points your character. So it's actually fucking playable.
Yeah.
4 is playable. I know that's tank controls, but...
This is the first Resident Evil game I've ever played.
Oh, really?
I've never played another one.
Huh. Not even 4.
No. I own 4. I've just never played it.
Okay, fair.
So, we get... So, I'm not terribly far in the game. I've only played for a little over an hour. I'm at the police station, and I've got the first 2 medallions that you put in, like, the other statue thing.
Sure, I kind of recognize that from, like, the demo. I was watching a video of the demo. I should probably just play the demo myself.
Yes, you should. You should try the game.
Yeah.
So, the game's difficult to review in a way, because, like, on one hand, it looks like a modern AAA game. But on the other hand, some of the way the game is made is still very much PlayStation 1.
Well, that makes sense to me.
Because it is a remake. And
Yeah.
I think my biggest issue is that it is so heavily a remake of a PS1 game. Because there's so much stuff in the game where it's like, if you made this game today, it would be so much more streamlined.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because there's so much of this game that's like, you go back to like the main area of the police station, then it's like, oh, go over here, and then come back. Oh, now you need to go back. Like, you backtrack so much. And it's just like, this isn't fun. Like, I don't want to go down the same corridor 8 times. Like, that's not fun.
Well, I think it's kind of the question of, if you are traversing through certain places, are there surprises or any sort of particular things that happen through it? Or is it kind of a case of you're walking through that hallway, and if you do take out zombies or any sort of thing like that, it's done, there's nothing that pops out at you?
So, the zombies don't die. You shoot them in the head. If you shoot them in the head once, they'll kind of like stagger for a few 10 seconds, and then they'll be back to kill you. If you shoot them in the head twice, they'll hit the ground and they'll be down for about 30 seconds, and then they'll get back up. Which that's I kind of like that. I kind of don't. No. It does definitely create more tension because you're never really safe, with the exception of a few rooms where there's no zombies. Like the main room that you kind of like get all your missions in, it's kind of like your hub room.
Yeah.
There's no zombies there.
Yeah,
and I know from like Resident Evil games, at least the first 4 or whatever, you kind of really want to manage your resources and not shoot too many zombies. You'll run out of ammo and be able to not really do much because all you have left is a knife.
So, one of the most frustrating, but one of the things I like the most about the game is that it gives you so little room for inventory, especially at the start. You get like 8 slots.
It's enough for a gun and maybe a health potion or 2.
Your gun takes up 1, your knife takes up 1, your bullets take up 1, everything takes up a slot.
Yeah.
And then you get to a point where I need this medallion, but I also really want to keep this first aid spray. And I'm kind of fucked. Because the minute you drop an item, you can't get it back. It's gone forever.
Yeah.
If I remember right from other games, is there still save boxes in save rooms or things like that?
Fuck that. Okay, that is one of the things that pisses me off about this game. No autosave.
Okay, so it is similar to like the other Resident Evil stuff.
Yes, you have to go to a typewriter and save. Now, if you're playing in like normal or assisted mode, you don't have to find the like ink ribbon to save. You just have to go to a typewriter. If you're playing
you have to find an ink ribbon?
In the hardcore mode, you do.
That's sick.
But it's a modern AAA game without autosave. And I hate that. Because, like, I was so close to a few times, because I'm like, I'm going to stop playing now. And I'm like, I'm about to click exit. I'm like, oh shit.
Wait a minute, I can't save.
Oh no, I'm a bit old school. I'm grown accustomed to, like, not auto-saving on games.
That, and I think it kind of mixes with the general idea of Resident Evil of giving you that pressure of you're not safe in those sorts of situations until you're in those sorts of save rooms or whatnot. The idea of Resident Evil is to put that pressure on you of you gotta survive through this in some sort of way or you gonna die.
Yeah, but you can do that in ways that don't impact, like, my ability to play the game.
I suppose, but then I guess it's also pandering to old Resident Evil fans with all the particular stuff.
So here's my issue and why I don't like it. So, hypothetical situation. Let's say I've been playing the game for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And the power goes out. I've lost that 2 hours of progress.
Yeah.
I can't control that.
I've been there before.
Like, that's where I'm like, an autosave wouldn't kill you. And like, if you want, if like the game was like, okay, you have the option. You can turn on autosave and have that convenience, or you can turn it off and play it like a traditional, like PS1 style. I think that's okay. The game looks beautiful. It plays really well. I have an issue because it's a PS1 game, basically, where you're backtracking a lot and kind of seeing the same thing repeatedly. Which, obviously, for the PS1, was because of the technology.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously. They had to reuse those assets a bunch.
Otherwise, they'd have to have multiple discs.
Yeah.
I don't know how many discs it had when it was on the PS1, if it was, like, multi or not.
I don't know.
I think with the first one, I think it was just a single. When it started to get into, I think, possibly more 3 than the other ones, they had to go onto multiple discs.
So, it looks beautiful. It's a lot of fun to play, but there are some issues, at least from my perspective. Now, some people, I'm sure, will really like the backtracking, because you do have to go through these areas where there's always going to be zombies.
I'm sure if you, like, grew up playing Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation, you would absolutely just dive into this easily.
Oh, you'll love it, because it's that game just with modern visuals.
Yeah.
It's basically the same game, is my understanding. And, like, there's a lot of it that's really cool. And then there's that whole, like, I've seen this hallway 8 times. And, like, Yeah, like, I get why that was. They had to do that for PS1, but for a modern game, I feel like you could have streamlined some things.
It's interesting. Out of what I know through Resident Evil, this doesn't sound as evil as a couple of Resident Evils they've made in the past, though. With I think it was the GameCube Resident Evil that they came up with.
4?
No, it was
remake?
the remake of the first one that they did.
Ooh.
Where they kept the mechanic of zombies can get back up after you kill them, or kill them for the first time, but it's a longer sequence of time. And when they come back up, they're several times stronger, harder to kill, and can kill you quite quickly.
Yeah, so these ones don't seem to come back with any kind of, like, additional power. It's just super annoying.
I should look into playing that version. I don't know. Sounds like it would be fun.
Yeah, so Resident Evil 2, it's a really good game. And if you liked Resident Evil 2 on PlayStation, you'll probably really like it. And if you want a game that is very spoopy, and I want to turn the brightness up constantly, because I know there's something scary around that corner, and I do not want to go around it.
Too bad.
Because I am a giant chicken man.
No, it's definitely interesting, because I've been interested in the Resident Evil series for a long time, but it's mostly just been cases of watching playthroughs and other sorts of things. The actual only Resident Evil games I played were the kind of shoot-'em-up ones that came out on the Wii, that kind of run through all the Resident Evil games and their baseline stories, but with kind of you're walking through a haunted house and shooting and slashing at all the particular things that are trying to kill you.
I only played through 4 and 5. That's all I played through.
Okay. Yeah, so...
But especially with Resident Evil 2 is one of my favorites, with Mr. William Birkin, which I'm not sure if you've run into him yet, but he is interesting.
I don't think so. Yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of people who really like the game, and I've enjoyed it, but, make sure you turn your brightness up to max.
If you want to get the spoopies, though, you can keep
You don't
down.
want the spoopies. Because there's too many, and it's scary.
Reminds me of that Psycho Mantis battle in Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. For whatever reason, like, the brightness would just dim entirely, where I wouldn't even be able to see, like, my own, like, weapons or what I have.
I'm going to have to send you a link to a Let's Play of some guys playing the original Metal Gear Solid for the first time, and somebody trying to walk them through it over the phone.
Oh.
And it's amazing.
You gotta look at the back of the CD case for Mero's codec.
Where, like, they get to call him every so often as their lifeline, but they're not allowed to call anybody else in the game.
What?
Yeah, that was, like, one of the gimmicks.
But you have to call...
Other than the ones that you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
It's super fun. You'll love it.
That's interesting.
It's really good. So, if neither of you have anything left to talk about...
Okay.
No. Alrighty. So, until next week, I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I'm Justin.